Hey everyone, welcome back to Python Learning. In this video, I'm going to discuss about, if statement. So in our previous video, we understood what is conditional statement, why it's important. Now it's a time to explore how do we check condition and how do you make a decision based on it. That's where if statement plays an important role. If statement used to check condition and make decision based on whether your condition is true or false. Okay, so in order to implement this if statement, you should remember the syntax. Syntax is pretty simple. It starts with an if, then you have to write the condition, close it with a colon, and then you have to make a decisions or a statements related to that condition if condition is true. Here, if is a conditional statement and condition basically written using if keyword followed by condition will be the condition can be anything, whatever you are looking for. And then if your condition is true, then it will execute the code. Execute the code in the sense it will execute the statements or a decisions related to this if condition. And one important thing, whenever you make a decision, it's very important to specify the indentation. So indentation in the sense, it's an extra space that we are giving for writing any condition so that, we are just telling what group of statements belongs to which block. Okay, so and finally, you can print the result if condition evaluates to true, otherwise it doesn't print anything. Just remember it starts with an if, you have to write a condition, you have to close it with a colon, that's an end of your if statement. And then if condition is true, what decision I have to make that has to be written here below your if statement by following an indentation. It can be 2 tab space or it can be, 4 tab space. Okay, so now you might have a question, what is indentation? Indentation in Python is using a spaces or maybe the tab space at the beginning of a line to define the structure and grouping of code blocks. That means it tells Python which statement belongs together inside a function, inside a loop, or is it inside a conditional. So as we go on now, like we will be writing multiple statements, we will be using different conditional statements. Okay, in order to tell which group of code belongs to which statement, just to tell differentiate, we just use an indentation. So standard way is like usually people use 4 spaces or you can also use 2 space per indentation level. Okay, so I'll just show you like how this if statement is going to work and how to give an indentation, why it's useful, what happens if we don't give an indentation, all those things. Let's explore in this video. Okay, so I have a simple question. First, let's try to compare, simple comparison. First, check whether 10 is greater than 5. Usually, how do you check whether 10 is greater than 5? We use this approach, right? I'll just use a comparison operator. And if 10 is greater than 5, it just gives you true. Otherwise, it just gives you false, right? But how do you check the same thing with the help of if statement? We know the syntax, right? Well, I have to check this condition whether 10 is greater than 5. If it's a true, I have to make some decision on my own. How to do that? We know the syntax. It starts with if, just write if, and then you have to write your condition. What's your condition? Your condition is 10 greater than 5. And since it's an if statement, make sure you close it with a colon. Done. Now just enter. When you enter, automatically it is taking an indentation. Indentation tells you that whatever you write now, right? Whatever you are going to write now, that belongs to your if statement only when your condition is true. Okay. So if my condition is true, I have to make some decision, right? Making decision in the sense like displaying something. So for that, I'm using print and I'll just say that 10 is greater than 5. See, let me run now. Done. So clearly, first it will start by checking a condition. My condition is actually true. 10 is greater than 5. So it is making a condition or, it is making a decision like, okay, 10 is greater than 5. This is how the conditional statements are going to work. And this is how if statement works. Start with if, write your condition, close it with a colon, and then jump down and make a decision. Whenever you make a decision or whenever you write statements related to that if, make sure you follow the indentation. You can give 2 space or you can give 4 space, both will work. Hope this question is clear. Now let's move on and solve a different questions. Okay, my next question is verify Less than. That means, you need to verify whether 5 is less than 10. If s, if s, decide and print that 5 is less than 10. So how do you do that? So very simple, start with if, and your condition is going to be 5 is less than 10. Okay, you have to make a decision. I'll say like, print 5 is less than 10. See, done. Now you might have a question, what if I don't give this indentation, what happens? Just check, don't give extra space and run, it gives an error. So that's the reason specifying indentation is important, because when you give a space, it will understand that, okay, this print statement is related to if condition. When if condition is true, that this particular statement should get executed. Okay, so just to tell which statement belongs to what, let's say if I print something like this, print done. So print done is not related to your if. Irrespective of your if statement, whether your condition is true or false, this, done will get printed. But this statement is dependent on this condition. Just to tell what is dependent on what, we just use an indentation. See, this statement gets executed only when this condition is true. If it's a false, it will not print. You can try. I'll just say like, 5 greater than 10. See, it's not printing the statement because condition went wrong. I hope you are getting. I hope you are getting. So this statement is related to, your if. It will get executed only when this condition is true. And you might have a question like, what happens if condition is false, right? I'll just change 5 greater than 10. It will not print this statement because your condition is false. It's printing done because it is not related to if. It's a general print statement. We say a statement belongs to if only if it follows an indentation. So that's the beauty of, the power of indentation, which is super important. Hope it's clear. Let's proceed. So next question, voting eligibility. If an age of Karan is 23, you just need to verify whether he is eligible to vote or not. So we know the age. I'll just define a variable age equals 23. And we know that when person is eligible to vote, I'll just write a condition that if age is greater than or equal to 18, print, what we have to print? Karan is eligible to vote. Then, so clearly 23 greater than or equal to 18, it says that Karan is eligible to vote. Okay, let's move to the next question. So we need to check whether number is positive number or not. If it's a positive number, it has to make a decision like, okay, 10 is a positive number. So now the question is, how do you check whether number is positive? So I'll take number is equal to 10. In order to say whether number is positive, the condition is, if number is greater than 0, we call such numbers as a positive number. I'll just use a format. Okay, I'll just use f, and then I'll use a curly braces, and I'll call my number, and I'll see that, number is positive. See, it says that 10 is positive. Similarly, how do you check whether number is negative or not? So same concept, you just have to take a number minus 20. When you see a number is negative, when number is less than 0. And let me modify the statement. If it's a negative number, it has to make a decision like, okay, number is negative. So it gives us like, minus 20 is negative. Hope it's clear. Next one. You can make multiple decisions as well. Check whether 100 is positive number. So I'll take up number is equal to 100. Okay. If number is, sorry, yeah. I'll just say that if number is greater than 0, okay, I have to print that. Okay, I have to print 100 is positive number. Along with that, what should I print? I should also print 100 is integer. Okay, first we have to check down whether it's a positive number. If it's a positive number, I have to make two decisions that, okay, it's a positive number and 100 is integer. You can write any number of statements, but whatsoever statements you are writing, make sure you follow the same indentation. See, when condition is true, it is giving all the statements that are related to if. I say that, these are the group or block of code which is related to if condition because they follow the same indentation. So now, what if my question is detect whether number is positive or not? Let's say you have a number, you just need to make a decision like whether number is positive or a negative. So far what we learned was making a single decision based on condition. If condition is true, it was giving like number is positive. What if in case a condition is false? So how do you answer that? How do you make an alternate decision? That's where we have a concept called as, if else condition. So in order to make an alternate decision, we have a concept called as else that we'll discuss in our next video. Happy learning. Thank you.